Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am recreating a makeup look seen on Madison Beer, and I actually think this is quite an old look done by PatMcGrath, but I was scrolling through Pinterest and I saw it and I was just like, I need to recreate this look. Madison is so gorgeous. I love her makeup looks. I don't typically wear makeup like this, but I'm so glad I tried it. I think it turned out so good. If you want to see how I achieved this look, keep watching. But before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I am so excited for today's look. Madison Beer is a huge makeup inspiration of mine, specifically this look. I saw it a while ago, but I never thought to recreate it, and I was just scrolling on Pinterest, and I saw this look, and I was like, this is the video I need to make today, so let's get into it. Her skin is super matte and blurred in this photo, so I'm going to use this blurring primer, Secure the Blur by One Size, their Makeup Magnet Primer. And this is a really good primer. I've used it a few times before. I'm not the biggest primer girl, but this one is so good. I'm mainly just focusing it in the center of my face, more so along my cheeks and my forehead, because that is where I get the most texture. I'm just using my fingers to really blend that into the skin. I also chose this primer because it is matte, and this entire look is very matte, so I definitely did not want to go with a glowy primer. Once that's applied, I'm going to go in with my Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This one is in the shade 3. This is a little dark for me right now, and I wish I would have tanned before filming this video, but I'm kind of recording this on a whim. Madison is always so just tanned and bronzed, and it looks so good, but we're going to make it work today. I'm starting off with one pump of that, and I'm just going to apply a very thin, even layer over my entire face. I'm using a foundation brush to blend this out. This is the Fenty Beauty foundation brush. This is the number 110. This foundation gives a really beautiful yet natural coverage. It's more on the matte side for sure, and you can either have it very light like this for medium coverage, or you can really build it up for a full coverage. My skin is definitely not perfect right now. I do have a few active breakouts here and there, but I think what I'm going to do is just try to cover those up with concealer rather than adding more foundation. So for concealer, I'm going to use this one by Makeup Forever. This is their Smooth and Blur Undetectable Concealer, and this is new from them. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm really excited to test it out. So I'm really only spot concealing where it's needed, mainly focusing this under my eyes and in the center of my face and over any blemishes. And then taking a beauty blender, I'm just going to go over that concealer and blend it out. I'm going to add some bronzer so I can warm up my face and add some definition. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in the shade Light Medium. This is my go-to cream bronzer for more glam looks. This gives a lot of coverage, but it blends so beautifully, and the tone is just perfect. I love this one. I put it all over my face. I put it on my cheekbones, forehead, side of the nose, under the jaw. I really just put it everywhere. I just pick up some of that product on my Refi Duo brush, and I just press that into the skin. So I'm actually going to go in with brows next, and Madison has very slicked up laminated brows in this look, which is not what I normally do, but I'm going to achieve that using the Kosas Airbrow Clear Gel, and I'm just going to brush that through my brows and apply it pretty generously until I'm happy with the effect. I honestly am going for a bit of a middle ground look. I'm not a huge fan of the laminated brows, but I still want them to be really lifted and feathery. If your brows can be a little bit stubborn like mine, try brushing your brows with the brow gel in all different directions first before brushing them up. I just find this coats the brows really evenly and kind of sticks those pesky little hairs into place. I honestly love this look. This is like a middle ground between the cemented to your face brows and then just the unruly no gel at all. These are still tidy, but they're lifted and they look fluffy, so that's how I like my brows. I don't know why, for some reason, when I do the laminated brow effect and really cement my brows down to my face, It just feels so wrong. I just can't. So I don't really want to go too heavy with the brows. I still want them to look really natural. So I'm going in with my NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Lift Pen in the shade Espresso. And I'm just going to draw in a few hairs, mostly on the tail of my brow. And again, I'm just really going with the natural direction of the hair growth on my brows so that it looks super, super natural. I really don't want it to look like I filled in my brows. So I'm just going in super light-handed, drawing single hair strokes and just taking my time with this. And if you make a mistake, it's actually really easy to just brush it away. So just use a spoolie and go over it. It's actually really forgiving. I'm so excited to move on to the eyes. I'm going to prime my lids really quickly. I'm using this primer from Milk, this Hydro Grip Eye Primer. And I'm just going to apply a very thin layer of that right over my lids. And then blend it out with my finger. I'm so excited to dip into this new Kosas palette. I am actually obsessed. These look very similar to the tones Madison has on her eyes, and I just love a good neutral palette. I would definitely wear these colors all the time on a daily basis, so I can't wait to test this out. I'm actually going to try their new brush as well. This is a really interesting shaped brush. I don't think I've ever tried a brush like this for a crease brush, but it makes sense. So yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm first going to go in with Peak just to define the crease. And it looks like this transition color goes all the way to her nose contour. This eyeshadow is super lifted and extended, so we're going to blend this out towards her temple. Once we have that general shape that we're going for, I'm going to go right on top of that with the shade Gaze. This is just a little bit darker. I'm going to keep this inside of that base transition color we applied and really just try to melt those two colors together. I'm also going to start to drag this inward on my outer V. I'm going to deepen that up just a tiny bit more. I'm going to take the smallest amount of the shade Drape and just apply that right in my eye socket. I think I'm pretty happy with the shape, and I also think I'm obsessed with this brush. This is really good for like a soft cut crease look like this, or if you're a quick, just define your crease and go, done eyeshadow kind of girl, you are gonna love this brush. I honestly think I'm obsessed. I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade in this palette and just apply that all over my mobile lid. I'm being careful to be really precise with this application. We're going for a soft cut crease, so I'm really just keeping the shadow on the mobile lid, and I'm keeping this right underneath that transition, almost sharpening up that lower area where we applied the transition. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Drape and just run it all along my lower lash line. I'm using a tiny little pencil brush. This is a Refer 03, and I'm keeping this really tight to the lashes. I want this to be very subtle. This look has a huge focus on liner. Her liner is super black, super detailed, and really elongated. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in with this Swede Satin Kohl eyeliner in the shade Black, and I'm going to apply just a base liner down to really define my shape. And in the photo, Madison's eyeliner goes all the way to her inner corner, and it's a pretty uniform thin length all the way across her eye. In the photo, Madison's wing definitely extends more outwards than really up and lifted, but this really elongates the eye nicely, and so I'm just kind of trying to replicate that. So that's the basic shape that I think I'm going to go for today. I'm going to just smudge this out a little bit. I'm using a angled brush. It's a really thin angled brush, and I'm not smoking this out really as I am just softening the edges. I'm still keeping this really tight to my lash line. And then once I have that shape how I want it, I'm going to go in with liquid liner. I'm using this one by Flower Nose, and it's just this really teeny tiny liquid liner. I think it'll be perfect to achieve the precision that I want for this. Okay, wow, look at that liner. It was so easy to apply. It's honestly reminding me of that liquid liner that everyone loves from Valentino, just super, super tiny and detailed. But if I'm not mistaken, this one is significantly more affordable. I am so impressed with this liner, and it is super, super black. Okay, so both eyes are done now with the winged liner. This side is a little bit more lifted than this side. That's okay. Let's just ignore that. So Madison has a really intense inner corner highlight, so we're going to do that now. The lightest shade in the Kosas eyeshadow palette just wasn't quite bright enough, so I'm going to go in with this one from the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. And I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of that on a pencil brush and just apply that right in my inner corner. So in the picture of Madison, she has a really dark black eyeliner in her inner corners. And I'm a little nervous to do this because I do not normally wear dark in my inner corner. I just find it doesn't really suit my eye shape, but we're going to try it again today. I'm using this liner by Hourglass. This is their Voyeur Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in the shade Obsidian, and this does not budge from the waterline. I'm going to take it in my inner corner and on my tight line as well. I'm going to take a teeny tiny smudger brush and just soften the edges of it as well. I'm going to take this in my tight line as well, just to really darken up that lash line for when we apply lashes. This will make them look fuller and it'll just blend seamlessly. Before we apply mascara or anything else, I'm just going to apply a little bit of that lightest eyeshadow shade right underneath where we applied that winged liner. This is going to make it just pop and look really clean and professional. This is such a good trick to just really enhance your eye makeup look. Now, I'm just going to coat my lashes with a very thin layer of mascara. I'm using the Lancome Lash Idole Mascara. This is one of my absolute favorites of all time. This is such a beautiful, natural, fluttery looking mascara, perfect for underneath falsies. I'm using really natural looking lashes, so I do not want too much volume on my lashes. I really just want to coat them to give them a little bit of a darker color, and I really want to lengthen them. For lashes, I'm using these ones by Pseudo Labs. These are their Psyllium lashes, and these are severely underrated. These are the most beautiful, comfortable lashes you will ever try. These have a clear band. They're so light to wear on the lids, and they seriously just look like lash extensions. They're so beautiful. They pretty much look like individual / lash extensions, but in band form, super quick and easy to apply. These ones are in the style BDL08. So I did trim these lashes ever so slightly, and then I just put a little bit of fairy lash glue, and then I'm just going to pop these on. So this is the side that I've applied the lashes to, and just look, they look so natural and soft, and they are so comfortable on my eye. I'm really sensitive and picky to lashes, but these have never given me an issue. They feel like I'm literally not even wearing lashes, which is incredible. They just give a really soft lash extension effect. I really can't describe it any other way. They literally look like my natural lashes or just really natural lash extensions. I've never experienced lashes like these in my life, and this is not even sponsored. I just really love these lashes. All right, so that is the eyes complete. What do you guys think so far? I don't know how I feel. I always feel weird when I put inner corner liner on, and so I'm still undecided. We'll see how the rest of the makeup look comes together. I feel like I never feel complete without blush and a lip, but I would love to know what you guys think. Can I pull off this liner? Anyways, we're going to move on to cream blush. It looks like Madison's wearing a really neutral kind of peachy toned blush. I actually think this one from Refi Beauty is perfect. This is their cream blush in the shade Citrine. I'm going to apply it almost right above my contour to lift my face. It doesn't look like there's a ton of blush on the apples of her cheeks. I'm just going to take this Refi brush we used earlier for our bronzer, and I'm going to use this fluffy duo fiber side and just run that right on top of the blush just to blend it out. I feel like this is very similar to the color Madison is wearing. Obviously, this would look way better if I was tan. I actually think that's quite pretty. I kind of like this color. I am going to go on top with a little bit of this Dior blush in the shade Coral just to kind of lighten it and give it that airbrush finish. For highlighter, I'm going to pop a little bit of this Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Enlighten right on the top of my cheekbones, just for a little bit of glow. Now to finish off this look, I'm going to line my lips. To start, I'm using the Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine lip liner, and I'm just really overlining my lips to get that super pouty look, focusing that on the Cupid's bow and in the center of my lower lip. She's wearing a really pale, peachy, kind of neutral lip. I think this lipstick by Kosas would be perfect. This is in the shade Fantasy Life, and I love this color. And then to finish everything off, I'm just going to give my face a powder. I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder in the shade Cliff. I'm mainly focusing that powder under my eyes, on my forehead, chin, around my mouth, anywhere that I tend to get oily. This look is quite matte. And this is the finished look. Honestly, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it looks very similar to Madison's look, and I actually like it a lot more than I expected to. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.